Welcome to the podcast dedicated to investigating whether or not hackers are worthy of a spot in the Hacker Hall of Fame. I'm your host, Detective Fenburn, and this is Making Hackstery. All right, listeners, today you're in for a real treat. This is the last episode of our season, and I am so excited to be bringing it to you. But before I introduce you to today's applicant and our guest, a word from our sponsors. Windows 7 is reaching end of support on January 14th, 2020. Don't leave your company and your data exposed. Instead, secure your business by making the shift to Windows 10 Pro on a modern Lenovo device powered by the Intel vPro platform. Thanks for tuning in to today's show. And I have a star guest for all of you, the one, the only Emma, a.k.a. Mantis, a.k.a. the hacker who showed Derek exactly what it means to put the hack in hackstery. Emma, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Detective Fenburn. I'm very excited to be here. You know, ever since I was a little girl, I always dreamed of recognition. But for some reason, no one seemed to hear me. You know, I made a nuclear reactor in 7th grade for the science fair.
Did you now? That's very impressive.
I know! And yet the kid who made one of those erupting volcanoes won. Seriously, a volcano? And the potato battery got second place. Total amateurs.
Complete amateurs. Speaking of which, I have to know, how did you even get linked up with the likes of the League of Chaos and Derek? I mean, come on. He even forgot you were in the studio with him when I interviewed him.
Well, Detective, for so long, I wanted to be a part of something. I wanted a chance to belong, you know? I've always been quiet and flown under the radar. That's why I took my skills for science to the web, because when you're a hacker, it pays to go unnoticed. Anonymity is our greatest asset.
Mm-hmm. Try telling that to your league buddy, Keith. He couldn't stop trying to turn your hack into a public affair. An online evite for the hack party? I mean, really?
Oh, he means well. It was actually thanks to Keith that I joined the League of Chaos in the first place. I actually grew up on the same block as Derek and Keith, only I don't think Derek remembers that. We all did Forest Scouts together, and we took programming in high school, and we had a dog walking business, actually. Derek never really showed up, though. It was mostly Keith and me. Anyways, when Derek and Keith discovered that Windows 7 was reaching end-of-life support on January 14th, 2020, and decided to form the League of Chaos, Keith reached out. He knew I had skills that could help them advance the project.
I see. So, for some reason, you all chose to band together and help Derek with this hack, even though it was really Keith who brought you all together. How did Derek become the leader of the League of Chaos?
Have you ever heard of the 08 hack?
Oh, well, of course. Everyone's heard of the 08 hack. I mean, it managed to take down the entire internet for about 15 seconds. It had global repercussions. You can't possibly be inferring that Derek had something to do with that.
Well, who knows whether it was on purpose or a fluke, but Derek, the overlord, was responsible. That was his doing. And a hack like that, it's not one you forget. Honestly, he doesn't bring it up much, probably because he's never been able to hack something as simple as his grandmother's cell phone again. But I guess we were all hoping he would have some kind of moment, a stroke of brilliance maybe, where he could do it again. Turns out, we were wrong, obviously. And he's just a total doofus. An easy-to-hack doofus who didn't bother upgrading his machine or updating his OS to Windows 10 Pro, which meant he didn't have the Intel vPro platform to aid in safeguarding his data.
Emma, tell me, how did you come up with the idea, the plan to hack Derek? And how did you pull it off?
Well, to get to that, we'd have to start at the beginning of the story and go back to where it all began. Pizza Palace.
Let me guess. Like the rest of the group, you were so distraught by the sauce-covered pizza, you had no choice but to join in the ranks and hack them, abandoning any other targets of grandeur, and choosing a small business, a local chain, and make them pay for their sauce-covered mistake.
Wrong. You see, They never forgot the cheese. I simply altered the order. They hadn't made the shift yet, so it was easy enough to get access to their systems, intercept the incoming orders, and remove the cheese. I knew the group would be disappointed, heartbroken even. And I knew it would leave them with no choice but to target Pizza Palace and abandon their desires of hacking schools or hospitals or government agencies. So silly.
Oh, how clever. But why, Emma?
Because I knew it would give the league something to focus on. Otherwise, we might have spent months arguing over who to target and why, especially Derek. They were thinking too big. Small businesses, they're easy. They have small IT teams, if they have any. They run lean and often on outdated devices. They'll take risks on their tech because they think they're safe. And Pizza Palace? I don't need to tell you. They're the biggest chain in the Tri-City area, which meant tons of data ripe for the hacking. Besides, that's also how I like my pizza. All sauce.
Well, that's just vile. So what happened next? I mean, they made the shift. They upgraded their computers after all.
Yes, eventually they did. I thought I'd be able to get in again, but when I couldn't, that put a kink in my plans. I hadn't been expecting that, honestly. But with the easy deployment of Lenovo computers, plus their advanced development assistance services, along with the fact that nearly all Windows 7 apps are compatible with Windows 10 Pro, it wasn't entirely unfathomable that they made the switch. Plus, with all the security benefits of Windows 10 Pro and the Intel V Pro platform, really, it made the most logistical sense, especially for a company of their size. Not to mention all the added security benefits. I'm sure someone eventually noticed that I'd been rooting around in their systems. I tend to leave a signature, after all. So, by updating to new Lenovo devices outfitted with ThinkShield and Windows 10 Pro, things like multi-factor authentication and Windows 10 Hello facial recognition and full drive encryption, BitLocker, which encrypts data and hard drives, even on USBs, all of which comes standard on Lenovo devices. It prevents business information from being stolen.
I mean, when you put it that way, it does seem quite the obvious choice to make the shift. Not to mention, with Lenovo ThinkShield, you just get so many other benefits, from mobile device management to persistent endpoint visibility, disk wipe tools, Intel BootGuard, enterprise encryption, Intel Authenticate Multi-Factor, image verification, even a self-healing BIOS. And naturally, with the inability to carry out the hack on the first target, the group would need a second. So does that mean you also orchestrated the Thai Bangkok order mishap?
No, sadly, I can't take credit for that one. They actually messed up that order, and they forgot my squid salad. How am I supposed to think without my squid salad? Sorry. It only made sense to switch targets. Besides, they also have several locations, and it would still present just as much opportunity as Pizza Palace. And with that level of disorganization and forgetfulness, none of us would have anticipated them making the shift. I mean, come on. They forgot 5 entrees. How does that even happen? And we didn't even get a refund.
So Thai Bangkok became the next target. But they made the shift too. Now, that really had to get under your skin, didn't it?
Well, unlike my teammates, I learned from our mistakes. I wanted to be ready. As we were preparing for the hack, I was making my own preparations, and the longer we coded, the more Derek ignored me. Literally, we had been coding for weeks together, for days on end, and he still forgot I was there. How is that even possible? I figured, if Pizza Palace made the shift, Thai Bangkok wouldn't be far behind in upgrading all their devices to modern Lenovo business devices with Windows 10 Pro and Intel V Pro. And like I said, I learned my lesson. Truthfully, making the shift means companies can make business-critical improvements, and the features of Windows 10 Pro can help propel innovation and increase efficiencies that impact a business's bottom line. Benefits that small businesses in particular can't afford to put on the back burner. Anyways, like I said, I wanted to have a backup plan. Of course, I did my part in preparing for the Thai Bangkok hack, but I was also working up something special for Derek.
But how did you do it? How did you pull off the hack with no one noticing?
Oh, that was the easy part. Everyone was so concerned with finishing their patches, their algorithms, and they never noticed me anyways. I had perfect access to Derek's computer. It's not like he was ever near it anyways. Always so busy bossing everyone around. And his machine was so outdated. I mean, come on. All the rest of us had Lenovos, which meant we were protected by ThinkShield. His computer didn't even have a camera shutter. That's a standard feature on many Lenovo ThinkPads. Not to mention, on that outdated device, he didn't have any other protections either. No smart USB protections, which meant it was super easy to give him a virus. No BIOS tagging capabilities means he would never even be able to detect the change. Of course, had he just upgraded to ThinkPad, protected by ThinkShield, it would never have happened. I mean, seriously, if he had a business-grade Lenovo device, he could have, and seriously should have taken advantage of Lenovo partnerships, like Lenovo Wi-Fi security in partnership with Coronet, which detects threats and notifies users when they are about to connect to unsafe wireless networks. He could have used buffer zone technology, which isolates online threats before they infect the whole organization. And if he had taken advantage of Lenovo Endpoint Management, powered by Mobile Iron, he would have had a secure, simple way to unify cloud and endpoint security across multiple devices. But without any of that to protect him, well, it just made my job all the easier. And it made victory so sweet.
Oh, Emma, you're so right. I mean, come on. Had he simply made the shift to a Lenovo device running Windows 10 Pro and powered by the Intel vPro platform, he would have had up to 99% fewer common vulnerabilities and exposures than major competitors. Well, Emma, from your incredible Pizza Palace hack to overthrowing the Overlord, I think it's safe to say that one member of the League of Chaos has indeed joined the ranks of hackstery. Emma, congratulations, and welcome to the Hacker Hall of Fame.
Thank you. It really is an honor. And I couldn't be more proud to be here. I also love that Keith knew, and that he put my photo on Derek's wall, staring at him every single day.
Actually, his mom is renting out the basement. She ran an ad on the show.
Oh, really? Good for her. Who knows? Maybe I'll take that from Derek, too.
Oh, Emma, you are too much. Really, thanks again for coming on the show, and congratulations. This is Detective Fenburn signing off. We'll see you next season on Making Hackstery. But before we go, here's a final word from our sponsors. Making Hackstery is brought to you by Intel, Microsoft, and Lenovo. Modern Lenovo devices outfitted with ThinkShield, powered by the Intel vPro platform and running Microsoft Windows 10 Pro, help to defend your computer from security threats by offering built-in protection straight out of the box. To learn more about making the shift to Windows 10 Pro on a modern Lenovo device powered by Intel, please visit
your Lenovo partner's website.
I'm Detective Fenburn, and this is Making Hackstery. See you next time.